Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on WellnessKE. My name is Fatma. Here on WellnessKE, we like to offer women great information that's going to help them in improving their reproductive health. And today we're going to be talking about endometriosis. So keep watching. So if you've clicked on this video, then you'd like to learn more about endometriosis. But before we get into the video, I'd like to remind you to hit that like button because liking is going to ensure that YouTube shares this video with more women. That way they get to benefit from this information. Also, while you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because once you're subscribed, you'll know every single time we post a new video. So let's get started. So what is endometriosis? Endometriosis is a condition that actually causes an overgrowth of endometrial tissue outside the uterus, meaning it can actually grow on the fallopian tubes, the ovaries, even the pelvic region. So endometriosis is a condition that actually is notorious for causing chronic pain and chronic inflammation. Women who actually have endometriosis have one thing in common. This particular endometrial tissue is actually quite sensitive to hormones, and specifically the hormone estrogen. So if you've been watching our videos, then you know a lot about estrogen by now. But I'm actually going to give you a refresher course so that you understand why estrogen plays a big role when it comes to endometriosis. So right now, I just want to explain to you what causes endometriosis. And the first one is estrogen. Estrogen is known as a female hormone, but is also known as the female sex hormone. Estrogen exists in both men and women, but it's actually more in women than it is in men. And there are reasons for that. So estrogen actually has several functions, one of them being growth and development. So when estrogen is in excess, that simply means that you're going to have excessive growth. And this is what leads to endometriosis. Since we've mentioned that endometriosis is a condition that is actually caused by excessive growth of tissue outside the uterus. So women who have endometriosis need to actually be very keen when it comes to their levels of the hormone estrogen. So I actually want to talk about something else that you really need to look into when it comes to causes of endometriosis, and that is diet. When it comes to diet, what exactly are we talking about? Let's start with inflammatory foods. Endometriosis is a condition that actually causes chronic inflammation. And so a woman who has endometriosis needs to actually avoid foods that are going to cause serious inflammation in her body. An example is foods that are genetically modified or GMO foods. Also, foods that are actually refined carbohydrates like your white rice, white bread, white chapati, sweets, beverages, sweet and sugary beverages, alcohol, and things like that. These foods actually do cause levels or increase your levels of inflammation in the body. And this actually puts women at risk of endometriosis, and the women who actually have endometriosis, this makes it even harder for them to manage the symptoms. Something else that you really need to focus on is sugar. Foods that are high in sugar actually worsen endometriosis. This is because sugar tends to actually increase the production of excess estrogen. And as we've mentioned, estrogen is a hormone that's actually responsible for growth and development, but when it's in excess, it causes overgrowth. So when you think about this chain, when you eat foods that are high in sugar and that leads to excessive estrogen, that's going to lead to excessive growth. And this excessive growth is really what causes endometriosis. So women who have endometriosis need to be very careful when they're taking in, grains in their diet, because they do tend to cause inflammation in the body. So when it comes to foods that actually would make you more susceptible to endometriosis, another one is dairy. Dairy products are actually quite notorious, and I'm going to explain. So when a woman actually has a baby and she's able to produce breast milk to feed the baby, this milk is essential for the growth and development of the baby. In the same way, when a cow actually has or delivers a calf, she also produces milk, and this milk is supposed to help in the growth and development of the calf. So that means in this milk, there is actually some growth hormones, and these growth hormones are supposed to help the calf in their growth and development. The thing is that women who have endometriosis, whenever they take in these dairy products, remember they're actually taking in also these hormones or the growth hormones. And as we mentioned, this excessive tissue that grows is very sensitive to hormones like estrogen and also these growth hormones. So that means it's going to lead to more growth in other areas like the fallopian tubes and the ovaries, and also in the pelvic region. So it's very important that you look into your diet if you have endometriosis. And if you want to avoid endometriosis, these are some of the foods that could potentially lead to you having endometriosis. And right now I want to just jump straight into the signs and symptoms of endometriosis. The first one, as I mentioned, is chronic inflammation. The second one is pain, especially during a menstrual cycle. Women who have endometriosis tend to have debilitating pain whereby they actually cannot be able to function or do anything. So pain is one of the signs and symptoms of endometriosis. The other one is irregular menstrual cycle. The other one is also infertility, because women who have endometriosis, tend to have issues with fertility. So that's one of the signs and symptoms. And another one is painful intercourse. I've summed this up so that you can be able to have the most vital information. And diet actually plays a really big role when it comes to managing endometriosis naturally. So let's just go down this particular list so that you can understand what type of foods to add onto your diet. So foods that are rich in vitamin C, foods that are rich in vitamin E, omega-3 fatty acids, these are actually going to be very essential when it comes to managing endometriosis naturally. This is because these foods are going to help you in lowering inflammation or even getting rid of inflammation from the body. Also, iodine is a big one. Iodine happens to be a trace mineral that's very important. It's produced, or rather it is found in the thyroid, and it's also found in the ovaries. Actually, your ovaries need iodine in order for them to actually produce estrogen hormone. But the thing is that when you have iodine, when you have lower levels of iodine, what happens is that your body tends to produce more of a certain type of estrogen. So there are three kinds of estrogen. You have estradiol, estriol, and estrone. Now, when you have low levels of iodine in the body, what happens is that you end up having higher levels of estradiol and estrone, and you end up having lower levels of estriol. This actually exposes you to estrogenic cancers like uterine cancer and endometrial cancer, and also it exposes you to breast cancer. The thing is that iodine plays a very, very important role in detoxifying excessive dirty estrogens. These dirty estrogens happens to be the harmful kind of estrogen that your body does not need. It's floating around and it needs for it to be, the body needs to get rid of it so that you don't end up, at risk of conditions like fibroids, conditions like endometriosis, conditions like breast cancer, conditions like estrogenic cancers, because these actually come about when you have these excessive dirty estrogens that have not been detoxified out of your body. So iodine actually plays a very big role in helping your body to detoxify excessive dirty estrogens that your body does not need. So you can find iodine in certain seafoods. You can also find it in sea kelp. So you can just do more research so that you understand how you can add more of these, this particular important trace mineral into your diet. So this information is what I really needed to share with you when it comes to endometriosis. If you have any questions, remember you can actually send them to us. You can actually type them in the comment section so that we can be able to reach out to some of the doctors that we have on board who help us when it comes to having our webinars. That way you can learn more about this particular condition and ways that you can be able to manage. As always, here at WellnessKE, we like to provide you with solutions, and at WellnessKE, we actually offer natural ways for you to manage endometriosis. We have products that are actually going to help you in lowering, excess estrogen levels. As I mentioned, estrogen is a big culprit. Excess estrogen is a big culprit when it comes to endometriosis. So we have products like green tea and turmeric tea and moringa that are actually going to help you. Also, we have neem, and we have, most importantly, organic seeds that are going to help you. These organic seeds contain omega-3 fatty acids that are essential when it comes to helping you in, avoiding inflammation. Remember, inflammation is one of the reasons or one of the signs and symptoms of endometriosis. So make sure that you place your orders for organic herbal green tea, because green tea actually contains antioxidants that help in lowering excess estrogen. Also, green tea is essential to help your body detoxify the excess estrogen from your body and also other toxins, and this is really vital. Turmeric is actually essential for inflammation, making sure that it gets rid of inflammation. So turmeric tea is actually going to play a very big role in making sure that you avoid, the chronic inflammation caused by the endometriosis. Also, don't forget, whenever you're placing your orders, you can always ask questions so that we let you know exactly how to use all these products. And if you want to know how you can prepare your green tea or turmeric tea or a moringa smoothie, or even use some of our organic seeds in your salads, we have videos lined up that are going to help you with that process so that you can be able to start your healthy journey with us today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, make sure that you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to let us know in the comment section what you'd like for us to focus on next. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Fatma. I'll see you next time. Bye.